Vim CheatSheet. MIT has released a series of lectures named The Missing Semester. In this Missing Semester lecture series, they focus on the shell, scripting, editors like Vim, data wrangling, command line environment, version control, Git, debugging and profiling, meta programming, CI, CD, testing, dependency management, security and cryptography, and more. And this session is heavily influenced by the lesson which is named Vim as an editor. Vim interface itself, when you hit those keystrokes like B, W, J, K, can be taught as a programming language for its own, because when you use a programming language, then you call functions and you pass arguments. And also, when you hit those keystrokes in a Vim like DW, then D is delete and W is word. So it's like a function delete with an argument word. And of course, then you can understand that you can replace the arguments with some other arguments as long as they can be applied as an argument to the function delete. So it's very useful to think of Vim interface as a programming language of its own. Vim avoids the usage of the mouse and also the arrow keys because it requires too much movement. Vim's design is based on the idea that a lot of programmer time is spent on reading, navigating, and making small edits, as opposed to writing a long stream of text. For this reason, Vim has multiple operation modes. One is the normal, which is mainly used for moving around the file. This is the standard mode. Then when you hit I, you get into the insert mode where you just insert text. You click escape and then you can move to the other mode. So we had normal, then insert for inserting text, then R for replacing text, and visual for selecting blocks of text, and command line where if you hit the colon, then you can give and type commands like find for finding files and row number. So you hit the colon and then you can add commands. You can type plugin install, which would install all the plugins that are in the configuration file. So we have these 5 modes. The normal one for navigation, insert for inserting text, replace, visual, and the command line mode. In the command line mode, if you want, for example, to quit Vim, then you hit first the colon. The colon is getting you to the command line mode. So colon Q is quit, close the window. And if you have multiple windows, like multiple panes, like in Tmax, only in Vim, then colon Q would quit the current pane or the current window. Colon W would save the current file or the current window. So if you hit colon WQ, then you would both save and quit. Colon E space the name of the file will open a file for editing, colon E. Colon LS will show the currently open buffers, which are like the current open windows, only there is not necessarily one-to-one relationship in Vim between windows and buffers. So if you use Visual Studio Code or IntelliJ, then you're used to the fact that you have a panel for each file, okay? But in Vim, you have like buffers and then you have the panels, and you can have buffer in multiple panels. So colon ls, just like the command ls, would show the currently open buffers. And now if you want to get help on a topic, for example, I want to get help on W, right? So I hit colon help space colon W, which would open the help for the colon W command. However, if you want the help for the W, move one word next, then you hit colon help and W. And now for movements. Instead of the arrow keys, and by the way, you can install a plugin for easy movements, which would make it more strict. As we said that we don't use and we don't want to use the arrow keys, you can install a plugin that whenever you hit the left arrow, it would tell you, hey, you could just hit the H letter. So H is for left, J is for down, K is for up, and L is for right. H, J, K, L. Left, down, up, right. W is to move to next word, W. B is to move to the beginning of the word, beginning, B, beginning of word. E is for the end of the word, E, end of word. These are the movements, W, B, E. 0 will take you to the beginning of the line. Hat would take you to the first character in this current line. And dollar, just like in regular expressions, would take you to the end of the line. Capital H would take you to the top of the screen. Capital M would take you to the middle of the screen, M middle. And low, capital L will take you to the bottom of the screen. GG would take you to the beginning of the file and capital G to the end of the file. And if you want to go to a specific row number, then you use the command colon row number enter, which would take you to this line number. If you want to get to a specific character, then you hit F and the character. FC will take you to the first C, where your current cursor is. If you want to search for something, let's say I want to search for the word function, then I hit /function. I just write function. It would take me, it would search function. That's like Control F in standard editors. Then you can use a lowercase 10 and uppercase 10 in order to move back and forward in the results. So we have finished with navigation. Now we move to edit. With I, you get into the insert mode, which is like the mode that you're used to in standard editors where you just type text. Lowercase o would insert a line below the current row, and uppercase o would open a line above the current row. D would delete something, but you need to give D an argument, like DW would delete the next word and DB would delete the previous word. C is for change. So again, you can do CW and it will change the current word. It's the same as you do DW, which is delete the current word, and then I in order to insert new text. X would delete the current character, and if you hit multiple times X, it would continuously delete the current character. If you want to undo, then the first letter of undo is U, so we just hit U. And if you want to copy something, then from the word yank, you hit the Y letter. So if you selected something with the visual mode, you can hit Y, which would copy it, and then P to paste it. If you want to switch the case of the character, then you use the tilde symbol. You can also use numbers in order to move. For example, if I hit 3W, it would move 3 words forward, and 5J would move 5 rows down. If I want to delete 7 words, then 7DW would delete 7 delete words. Now, let's say I'm in a programming language and I want to change all the content within the parentheses. So I can hit change in parentheses. And so the abbreviation for this would be CI and open brackets. Okay, change in parentheses. And it would basically delete what's in the parentheses and would insert mode, get into insert mode so you can start typing. And with that, we have basically covered all the commands. So let's sum up. We have 5 modes: the normal mode for navigation, the insert mode for inserting text, the replace mode, the visual mode for selecting, and the command line modes for running commands such as install plugins or WQ for write and quit. Then we had all the navigation. So instead of arrows, we use HJKL. W to the next word, B to the beginning of the word, and E to the end of the word. 0 will take us to the beginning of line, while hat will take us to the first non-black character. Dollar, just like regular expression, will take us to the end of the line. Capital H, capital M, and capital O is for the top of the screen, the middle of the screen, and the low of the screen. GG to the beginning of the file, and capital G to the end of the file. Slash, and then some text would search for this text. Once you hit enter would go to it, and then with N or capital N would take you to the next match. For doing actual edits, you hit I to get into the insert mode if you want to insert a line below, so it's O or capital O to the line, insert a line above. D and then W would be like delete word, and you can pass other arguments into D. And you have also change something. Change in motion. So CW would change the current word. X would delete characters. U is for undo. Y is for copy, and P is for paste. And something very strong. So if you are in a programming language, then you hit CI and brackets, which would mean change inside brackets, so it would delete everything in the brackets and then you can insert some new text. And this is it for a cheat sheet of Vim commands. I hope you enjoyed this one and I'll see you next time. See ya.